NdPr, stands for neodymium praseodymium oxide, which is an essential high-strength rare earth alloy used in the performance of making high-performance magnets. These are used in electric vehicles, robotics, defense tech, and smartphones. China has dominated the supply chain for NdPr.
Become dominant in the rare earth supply chain.
About 70% of the actual mining of these materials rest in the hands of Chinese companies, and 90% of the processing. That's an incredible amount of dependency when you think about how important these materials are to running a modern economy.
With China having such a strong foothold in this industry, the US is seeking ways to becoming self-reliant. President Trump has stated in his new proclamation that the US must move away from foreign reliance, stating that although the US is the second largest producer of rare earth oxides, its limiting processing capacity as well as need to be exported for further refining is still a barrier. Mining a mineral domestically does not safeguard the national security of the US.
We've undermined our position in the world. And what you will find, and what we find even now, is that increasingly, on geopolitical issue after geopolitical issue, it is access to raw material and industrial capacity that is at the core both of the decisions that we're making and the areas that we're prioritizing. Now, the technologies are different, but nonetheless, that is what we're increasingly prioritizing. And that's become really apparent to me. I think it was even going into this job, but in the months that I've been there, place after place, every country in the world is now pitching themselves as a source of rare earth minerals. Every country in the world, by the way, they're not that rare, so every country has access to it, but it's become a big, but that alone is not enough, because you have to have access to rare earth minerals, but then you have to have the ability to process them. And you have to make them into usable material. And frankly, what the Chinese have done over the last 25 or 30 years is they've cornered the market. And this is one of the true challenges to sort of pure free enterprise view of these things. You cannot compete with a nation state who has decided they're not interested in making money. They're not interested in making money in this field. They are interested in the short term in dominating the market, being the sole source provider for the world of a certain product. Because once you establish industry dominance in any one of these fields, you can charge the world whatever you want. Now, one thing is that we said, well, this happened because they're just better than us. But that's not why it happened. It happened because we literally gave it away. Because we made the decision, we made the policy decision that it was okay. We were okay with 80-something% of the active ingredients in most of our generic pharmaceuticals coming from another country. We were okay with giving that away. We were okay with giving away all kinds of things like that. And now we are in a crunch. And I say we, I mean the rest of the world is in a crunch, because we have realized that our industrial capability is deeply dependent on a number of potential adversary nation states, including China, who can hold it over our head. And so in many ways, the nature of geopolitics is now adjusted to that and is adjusting to that. And it will be one of the great challenges of the new century and one of the priorities of this administration under President Trump.
Meet MP Materials, the only operating rare earth elements mining and processing facility in the US. They mine in Mountain Pass, California, where they refine high-grade ores into pure rare earth compounds. These are transformed with other metals to combine and form powerful magnets. MP Materials has attracted investors like the US Department of Defense. With the DoD investing around $400 million in this company, it shows that the US is serious about moving away from reliance on China and instead establishing a domestic industry of refining and mining rare earth elements here in the US. In addition to the DoD, Apple has invested $500 million to MP Materials. With this multi-year deal, Apple is committed to buying American-made rare earth magnets developed at MP Materials' Independence facility in Texas. Today, nearly all of magnets used across Apple devices are made with recycled rare earth elements. This presents huge demand and growth opportunity for MP Materials. Some concerns to keep in mind is the cost of revenue, resulting in a gross profit of negative $60,000. This is largely due to production costs since the company is now transitioning from just mining to now also refining rare earth materials as well. We can also see here that many Wall Street analysts have graded the stock to outperform in the coming year. The rare earth mining industry is very new to the US, so this company still has time before true ROI is evident. With China's dominance on the market, this puts pressure on the US to find alternative measures for rare earth mining and refining. With Apple and the DoD invested, MP Materials represents a catalyst for a new era of rare earth mining and refining done in the US.